Right, a new day. So this is the trail that I was walking on in the dark last night. Although honestly, even though I said it's officially my first night hike on the AT, I think it hardly counts as a night hike. I probably only went about 15 minutes and then found a good little spot. So you can see where I was, where my tent was. Nice and dry. It rained last night, obviously, but nothing too bad. Well, I slept like a baby. As always, I could have slept longer. So yeah, I ended up doing about 19 miles yesterday because I needed to go that extra distance to get the water, and I'm glad I did because I met Gary and, you know, got to go into town. That was kind of fun. So anyway, tonight I'll be going to, tonight I'll be heading in to Boots Off Hostel, which is on the other side of Hampton, and I'll probably be in Hampton again. Anyway, I need to do resupply. I didn't do yesterday, and I'll probably end up eating something else in town and whatever. It'll be a little shorter day, maybe about 10 miles before I head out of town and head towards Damascus. And one thing I got yesterday, oh, look at that. That is not a hike or breakfast, but that's what I'm eating this morning. So, all right, ready to roll. Laurel Canyon. Okay, I expect this to be pretty good. Wow, quite amazing. Oh, the breeze down here is fantastic too. Right in the middle of the path. What's up, man? Huh? What's up? What's up? Cameraman's not too quick. Well, I'm hiking along just alongside the river now for quite a while, for a mile or so. And I'm getting ready to do a steep climb, so I'll have about 2.5 miles maybe of climbing, 2.5 miles of descent, and then I will be at the hostel roughly. You know, another little bit of up and down in there, you know how it goes. But anyway, so that last video shot was from up above the falls, as you probably noticed. It's kind of a hairy climb going all the way up and around there. Spending a lot of energy, but it was totally worth it. It was awesome. And you know, since I'm in charge of my own hike here, I don't have to admit whether I went up there because I really wanted to get a great shot or because I was lost and I took the wrong trail. So don't ask me to admit it. Okay, well, that uphill wasn't so bad. It's kind of bad. It was very, very sustained. I mean, there were almost no times where it flattened out and gave you a little bit of a break. But, you know, it wasn't ultra steep, so just kept powering up, and it was good. At the very top, luckily, there's this little spring that's just barely trickling anything out. It took me several minutes just to get about a half liter of water out of it, but that was good. I needed some water. I mean, I would have been fine. I'm just, you know, it's downhill now to the hostel, so I could take it easy, but it was nice. I chugged about a half a liter of water when I got to the spring, which is all I had. Kind of rehydrate myself, and then filled up another half liter, and I'm on the home stretch. So it was about 3 miles downhill to the hostel, and I've probably done a half mile so far, and I'm moving fast. As long as I don't hit any wet rocks and end up on my head, I should be there in an hour. And it'd be nice to have a little bit of a short day, not an ultra short day. When you have a really short day where maybe you only do a couple miles. At the end of the day, you call it a Nero, a near 0 mile day. I would definitely not call this a Nero, but still, it's not one of those where I'm killing myself. So I'll have a few extra hours at the end of the day, not on my feet, just resting and relaxing, and hopefully get some good sleep. So when I was hiking around the falls earlier, around the top. Sorry, I know I have stuff in front of the camera here, but I can't hold it any other way. Anyway, I put my hand on a tree to hold myself up because, like I said, it was kind of a really steep, slippery climb, and there was a slug on the tree. And I put my hand right on the slug, like, and that is the result. I don't know what that's about, but I I know slugs carry a lot of bacteria and you're not supposed to be messing with them, but as soon as it happened, I immediately spit on my hand, wiped it off really, really well. And then when I got down, I washed it, kind of scrubbed it in the river down there, and then even put some hand sanitizer on. So whatever, I'm sure I'm fine, but hope I don't start hallucinating or something from slug pathogens. Wow, I didn't realize I'd be able to see that. So I believe that's Watauga Lake and probably Watauga Dam, or anyway, something. Maybe there's a dam, bigger dam somewhere else. We can kind of see a parking lot down there through the trees as well. But anyway, somehow after I leave the hostel tomorrow, I'll be going across or along the dam or something, and then I'll be skirting the lake for a while. Apparently it's a pretty easy hike for that stretch. Maybe a one day of a lot of kind of flat stuff like I did maybe yesterday, where not really flat, but just undulating as opposed to these big huge climbs and big huge descents. So anyway, that was pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more of that. Seemed like a really weird thing yesterday. I can't even remember if I mentioned this in the video, but after I was almost done hiking and I was down getting my last water for the day, and I felt great. Like, I was tired, but my muscles and legs and everything felt fine, my feet. But as I was getting the water, my right hamstring started to hurt, and kind of on the inside part of it, sort of. It's hard to explain, but on the back, but more on the inside. And it just started to hurt more and more and more, and till it almost felt like a bruise. I mean, it was really, really tender to the touch, and still is. But so it just kind of cropped up right as I was standing there getting water. So it made me think, well, maybe it's a cramp of some kind. So I started rubbing on it, but there was really no knot. It never felt like a cramp, really. Although it kind of feels like a cramp feels after, maybe like the next day after you get the cramp out, and then it really is just really sore. But I have no idea. And now, I walked around town yesterday. I'm hiking all day today, up and down both. Not feeling it one bit, but if I reach back and touch it, it is really tender. So it's very strange. Even when I stretched this morning, which I do always before I start, I felt nothing with any of the stretches. I can't even feel the pain of it. So I don't know what kind of injury happens to some part of a muscle that you're not even using and you don't feel. I guess I'm fine. Well, I didn't realize that this whole area was called this, but this is the sign that I saw last night in the dark when I was entering, after coming back from town. So I guess this whole area I did today was the Pond Mountain Wilderness. And I'm almost out. I can hear noises up ahead and cars, so that means I'm getting close to the hostel, to Boots Off Hostel. Okay, coming out of the woods for the day. Oh, all right. Right up here.